Okay, so let's learn how to blend our movement animation with our attack animation. It's pretty simple actually. I'm sure you've seen things like that in games such as Ashes of Creations or other games like it. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my character blueprint and add a key so I can play an animation. I'm gonna use 4 and play a montage. Alright. Now if I do play the montage, as you can see, if I try to walk at the same time, my character just slides around. Alright. So to fix that, we are gonna go to our you need to find your anim class, your animation blueprint class, and you should have something like this. Now what I'm gonna do is add a new state. And I'm gonna call it upper body. I'm just gonna cache it so I can reuse it. Alright. And in upper body, I'm going to add a state. Call it upper body. Now in upper body, I want to find my default slot. So connect it here. Now what I want to use is a different slot. The default slot is used to play animation and get the whole body of the character to play the animation. I want a different one. I want a different slot just to play the animation on the top part of the body, right? So let's make a new slot. How do you make a new slot? Well, just go to your montage, whatever montage you're gonna use, and then in here, in animation slot here, you should be able to add a new one. So I'm gonna click add and add a new one. I'm gonna call it upper body. So now I have a new slot. And for this animation, I'm gonna come here where it says default slot and change it where it says slot name, change it to upper body. Alright? Now I'm using the upper body for this animation. So now I'm gonna come back to my anim blueprint here and change this from default to using the upper body. Alright. And I'm just gonna plug my locomotion. So locomotion here. Cool. So now we need to tell the animation blueprint to play the locomotion animation on the lower part of the body and the animation, our attack animation, only on the top. The way we do this is we find a layered blend per bone node, this one. I'm going to connect this here and that one here. Now I'm gonna find my locomotion again and connect it to the base pose. Alright, now if you click on this node, you will see on your right in the details panel that you can add a bone. Here where it says bone name is the bone that we want to use to split our character. So if I go to my skeleton, for example, open my character skeleton, you will see if I click on spine, the spine bone, the spinal one bone is the bone that divides the body into two. Now there's multiple bones that you can use, but I'm gonna use this one, spinal one. So So I'm gonna come here and use spine 01 as the bone in between the upper half of the body and the lower half of the body. So now that we've done this, you can use and blend depth is basically how many bones do you want to affect that's around this the main bone that you're using for the separation. So if, for example, if I would put 2 here, then the spine 02 and spine 03 bone would also be affected by the animation. Now you can play around with this and see what looks good, but I'm just gonna leave it to 0. And we need to check this one, mesh space rotation blend. Alright, so now let's make sure we are using this. So back to our animation graph. I'm going to delete the locomotion from here and use my upper body instead. So now if we press play and then I press 4, as you can see, now it works. Now our upper body is playing the attack animation, and now the legs are still moving with the locomotion. There we go. And in part 2 of this, we're gonna go over how to do the same thing for root motion animation. Play. This is the animation. And if I try to move, well, I can't. I have to wait for the animation to be over in order to start moving my character. Now I can start moving before the animation is over, and it blends together, so that you don't have to wait for the full root motion animation to be over in order to start moving your character. We'll cover that in part 2, which is available on my Patreon. Anyway, hope you learned something, and see you in the next one.